Hello and good morning to you. We are still on lesson 16. This, remember, was a 2-day lesson. We did day 1 yesterday, and now we are going to be moving on to day 2. So you will need to turn your page over to page 96, and there are 2 word problems that we are going to be doing today. I'm going to remind you that you're going to be doing these 2 problems, problem 4 and problem 5. Both of these are 2-step problems. Problem 4 is a 2-step problem. It doesn't really give you enough space in this workspace to be able to do problem 4, so I have transferred that to a larger piece of paper and divided my paper into a step 1 and a step 2 as we get ready to work this problem. Problem number 5 is also a 2-step problem, but they have also shown you step 1 as in part A and step 2 as in part B. So they are both 2-step problems, 2 steps, which means you're actually doing a total of 4 problems. And then you will be moving over to the exit ticket, and I'm going to remind you that you should use cubes and read, draw, and write when you work these 2 problems. And it is a 2-step problem, or there's only 1 problem, but it has a step 1 and a step 2. And of course, you're going to be sending that to your teacher when you are finished. Now, I am going to have you pause the video, and you are going to work problem 4 and problem 5. They're both 2-step problems, as I pointed out. Then I will come back. We'll go over those 2-step problems and go over those 2 problems with their 2 steps, and then we will have you do the exit ticket and send it to your teacher. So for right now, make sure you've got maybe an extra piece of scratch paper so that you can work problem number 4. As I said, the space is too small for the 2 steps that you need to do, and then we'll take a look at it together. So pause the video. Okay, here we are back. Hopefully you have done problem 4 and problem 5. I told you that problem 4 on page 96, you needed to have more space for this problem, which is why I have done what I have done. And of course, I need to remind you, if you didn't use cubes, you probably should have done that because it helps you figure out how to approach this problem. So let's go ahead and read the problem and figure out what pieces we are going to need. So Andy spent 71 hours studying in November. That's going to be important to us. And in December, he studied 19 hours less. All right, so I'm circling the numbers under, I haven't gotten to the question yet. Raquel studied 22 hours more than Andy studied in December, and our question is how many hours did Raquel study in December? All right, so we are looking at Raquel and comparing her to Andy, and we need to know how much Rachel, I think that's Rachel, studied in December. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we know. First of all, we know that Andy studied 71 hours in November. So I'm thinking about what do I know, and I know that he studied, and I'm going to draw my bar model or my tape model. He studied for 71 hours, and he did that in November, and that was Andy. Okay, so that's the first thing that I know. So I'm thinking that probably is going to be important. I'm going to draw the second part of my tape model. And I know that in December, he studied 19 hours, right there, 19 hours less. In December, he studied 19 hours less in December. 19 hours less than he did in November. And we're trying to find out how much did he study in December. And we're talking about Andy here. We're finding out how much he actually did study. So our big question mark is trying to find out the missing part of what we are looking for here. We need to know how long did Andy actually study in December, otherwise we will not be able to answer the second half of this question. I'm going to draw a line right here because this is step number 1 and this is step number 2. But before we can solve step number 2, we have to solve step number 1. So I understand that this is my whole and my part, and I have a missing part. So I can show my horizontal. 71 take away 19 will give me my missing part. Whole take away part will give me my missing part. So we're going to now take that horizontal equation and put it now into a vertical equation. And I do want to show, using my 1s and my 10s, I want to show my chip model. And I know when I'm subtracting that I am going to only show the whole, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one group of 1. 1, 1, and 7 tens. All right, so now I need to ask myself the question, 1, 1 take away 9 ones, or 9 from 1, is the question I'm trying to answer, and I cannot take 9 ones away from 1, 1. So I know I'm going to need to decompose. I'm going to decompose a group of 1 10 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to decompose that into 10 ones. Now, because I've shown this in my chip model, I need to now record that same information in my vertical model. So do I still have just 1, 1, or do I now have more than that? So I've got 1, 1 plus the 10 that we decomposed now gives me, oops, I almost forgot my magnifying glass. Get that magnifying glass in there, Miss Star. Okay, so I am going to now, I have, instead of 1, 1, I now have 11 ones. So question again, 11 ones take away 9 ones. I can do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That leaves me with 2 ones. There they are. So 2 ones. And now, do I still have 7 tens? I don't still have 7 tens because I decomposed one of those. Now I have 6 tens. 6 tens take away 1 10, or 1 10 from 6. I'm going to take away 1 10, which now leaves me with 5 tens. So I know that Andy studied 52 hours in December. 52 hours in December. So that's going to be important for me to know, and I should write my word answer because I don't want to forget the read, whoops, I did that backwards. Read, draw, and write. Read, draw, and write. Sorry, I got that backwards. So let's write what we learned from step 1. Andy studied 52 hours in December. I'm going to make it fairly sweet, straightforward, and to the point. All right, so now let's take a look at our second half of the problem. Raquel studied for 22 hours more than Andy did in December. How many hours did Rachel study in December? Well, let's see. I'm going to draw my model here. I'm going to model what this looks like with my bar model or tape model. And I know that she studied 22 hours more, 22 hours more than Andy. So what was Andy? I know how much Andy was. Andy had, I'm just going to abbreviate December on this one. He had 52 hours. Oops, looks like I'm abbreviating there too. So Andy had 52 hours that he studied. So I know what I am looking for. My missing piece that I want is, this is how much Rachel studied in December. All right, so as I'm looking at this, if I was going to write a number sentence or an equation, I have a part, and I'm looking for my whole. Now, it's been a while since we've done some addition, but that would be 22 plus 52 equals my whole. Part plus part would equal my whole. Now, let's see if we can remember how to do that type of addition in a vertical equation. So 52 and 22, making certain that I have my ones lined up with my ones and my tens lined up with my tens. Now let's make a place value chart with our ones and our tens. And remember, when we're doing addition, it's been a while since we did this, we have to represent both numbers in addition. So there's 1, 2, 2 tens, 10 and 20, and 2 ones, 10, 20, 21, 22. In 52, there are 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 ones, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. Now I'm going to ask myself, if I added the two ones to two ones, well, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. And if I add my tens, 2 tens to 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. So I can see that Rachel studied for 74 hours in December. 22 plus 52 is 74. Part plus part equals my whole. Part plus part equals whole. All right, and then I'm going to do my writing. Rachel, studied 74 hours in December. There we go. All righty, so that was how you should have solved problem number 4. And I know that this was the one that was done also in the video that you watched yesterday, and I did use a little bit different way than Mr. Waldorf did, but nevertheless, I still did the things that I needed to do, and hopefully you were successful as well. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at problem number 5. Here we go, problem number 5. Let me get that one ready to go. Here we go with problem number 5. And again, problem number 5 is a two-step problem. So let's start with remembering we're doing cubes and read, draw, and write. So 36 books are in the blue bin. Now I've got 36 written in Word form. I'm just going to change it to standard form just so I don't forget what I'm working with. 36 books are in the blue bin. Okay. And the blue bin has 18 more books than the red bin. Okay, I've got the blue bin again. So I know that there's 36 books in the blue bin, and the blue bin has 18 more books than the red bin. And the yellow bin, got to pay attention to that, has 7 more books than the red bin. All right, so let's take a look at what we're going to be doing. Let's start with how many books are in the red bin. Well, so we're going to be answering part of this in our two-step problem. So I know for sure that there are 36 books. Here's my 36 books. And what color bin were they in? 36 books was in the blue bin. Or bin. Okay, so I know that there were 36 books in the blue bin. I know that there were went too far. So the blue bin has 18 more books than the red bin. So I'm going to put my red bin down here. So let's see, I've got 18 more books. So this is actually a part of 18 is a part of this number. So I'm just going to do a little kind of dotted line because it is a part of 36. 18 more. And what I'm trying to find out is how many books are in the red bin. All right, so it looks like I've got a problem where I am going to be doing a whole, which is 36, take away a part should give me the missing part. All right, let's put that into a vertical equation. I think I made that just a little bit too long. Let me shorten that up just a titch. All right, so let's go 36, take away 18. Here's my whole and my part. And I do want to use the chip model with my 1s and my 10s. Remember, when we're subtracting, we only use the whole. So there are 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. All right, so now that I have this set up, let's go ahead, take a close look at, our whole. 6 ones take away 8 ones. Can I take 8 ones from these 6 ones? Well, the answer to that question is no. So I need to decompose a 6. I'm going to I'm going to decompose a 10, thank you very much, into 10 ones. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so I've made some changes in my chip model, and I do have to record those changes in my horizontal model. So, do I still have 6 ones? Nope, because I've added 10 more ones when I decomposed, so I don't have 6 anymore. I now have 16. 6 ones plus 10 ones is 16 ones. 16 ones take away 8 ones. Well, I can do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves me with 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I'm looking at my 10s. Do I still have 3 10s? Nope, because I decomposed one, so now I have 2 10s. 2 10s take away 1 10, which I can do that. 2 10s take away 1 10, or 1 10 from 2 leaves me with 18. So I know that there are 18 books in the red bin. 36 take away 18 is 18. And my sentence would say, there are 18 books in the red bin. Great. Okay, so I have solved the A part of problem number 5. Now the B part wants to know how many books are now in the yellow bin. Well, let's look at what we know. We know that there are 7 more books. The yellow bin has 7 more books than the red bin. So let's take a look at how that is going to look. I'm going to draw my bar model. And what do I already know? Well, I know that the red bin from up here has 18 books. Red bin has 18 books, because I found that out from the problem up above. And I know that that is 7 more, or that the yellow, that the yellow bin has 7 more. It says the yellow bin has 7 more books than the red bin. All right, so this is going to be, here's my yellow bin, and what I'm trying to find out is how many books are in the yellow bin. So it looks like, again, I have a part and a part. Part plus part will equal my whole. So I have, then my number sentence would be 18 plus 7 equals my unknown. All right, now it's been a while since we've done some addition, but we can still do it. We can handle it. Let's go ahead and make our place value chart with our 1s and our 10s. Let's see, when we're doing, how about if we put that in vertical form, 18 plus 7, and I'm going to put a 0 in the 10s place because I only have one group of 10. And here we go. I am going to have to represent both the 18 and the 7. So 110, remember when we're adding, we're representing both add-ins. So 1 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's see, now I have to represent 7. There are no 10s, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. So I'm going to start with my ones, and I'm going to add my 8 ones and my 7 ones. Well, I can see that I have enough that I could compose a 10. So if I wanted 8, I would take 2 more to get that 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I am going to put those 10s down below. Do you remember that? 10s down below? So when I took that and bundled that 10 or composed a 10, I came up with a new 10, which is going to go in my 10s down below. How many ones do I have left after I've bundled and moved those to my 10 or composed a 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have 5, and I'm going to now take a look at my 10s. I started with 1 10. I composed a 10, which is this 10, which gives me a total of 2 10s. 2 10s and 5 ones is 25. So I know there are 25 books in the yellow bin. Woohoo! So let's write that out. There are 25 books in the yellow bin. Bing, there we go. Alrighty, so now that we have solved the two-step problems, a total of 4 different problems that we had to do, the next step for you is to come over and now do the exit ticket for 16, and then you're going to make sure that you use cubes and read, draw, and write. Make sure that we can see all of your work, and good luck to you, and hopefully that goes well for you. And with that, I'm going to remind you to send it to your teacher, and you, my friends, have a great day of learning.